Namaste everyone, my name is Sengathir Rajagopal, and today we're going to take a look at the life of Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda was born on January 12, 1863 in the Indian state of Kolkata. He was born on the auspicious day of Makar Sankranti, which, as you all probably know, we just celebrated about 10 days ago. At the time of his birth, he was named Narendranath Datta. Narendranath, as he was called, was raised in a devout Hindu household, with his heavily religious mother having a profound influence on him, and often encouraging him to have faith in Ishvara and ultimately inspiring him to read Vedic scriptures and the Bhagavad Gita. Narendranath, even as he was just a little boy, was deeply interested in the art of meditation and practiced meditating on a regular basis. He did meditation so often in order to discover inner peace and improve his concentration abilities. When Narendranath began attending school, he immediately showcased excellence in both his academics and athletic programs. He was especially fond of gymnastics and wrestling. At school, he learned more about the Western culture, which is typical of America and Europe, as well as Christianity, which he really became interested in. His great exposure in school and college to various religions and cultures made him very curious and enabled him to explore God and spirituality more deeply. As a result of his scientific-based education, Narendranath began to ponder whether God, a supreme and powerful being, really existed in society. In other words, he wanted to know if God was really present and a real being. To find answers to his questions regarding God's true existence, Narendranath began reaching out and discussing with various spiritual leaders. He eventually came across a saint named Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, who told him that I see God as clearly as I see you, which meant that God did exist, as he was present in every single person. Narendranath was not expecting such an answer, and began to feel enlightened by Ramakrishna, whom he began to see as his teacher and guru. As a disciple of Ramakrishna, Narendranath explored his deep passion in religion and was inspired by his guru's dedicated teachings and philosophies. Narendranath's guru, Sri Ramakrishna, eventually passed away in 1886 as a result of throat cancer. Overcome with emotion and greatly influenced by his guru's teachings, Narendranath vowed to become a monk and live the rest of his life with no desires or attachments to the materialistic things of society, but instead worked to obtain spiritual knowledge. After joining the monkhood, Narendranath changed his name to what we know him today as Vivekananda, which, when translated into English, means bliss of discerning wisdom. As a monk, Vivekananda traveled all across India, experiencing new cultures, religions, traditions, foods, holidays, and much, much more. Also, while traveling, Vivekananda saw poverty, disease, and sadness in almost every part of India, and he promised himself that he would work towards ending all these people's misery. One day, Vivekananda was notified about a World Parliament of Religion meeting that was being held in the United States, in the city of Chicago. He was excited and made preparations to go there immediately and speak about his extensive knowledge of Hinduism that he learned from his guru, Sri Ramakrishna. At the meeting, he gave a phenomenal speech where he discussed the Hindu religion. He was praised highly by global leaders for his speech and discussion. This is a short segment of the speech that Swami Vivekananda made at the World Parliament of Religion meeting.
We now introduce you to Swami Vivekananda from India and request him to address us. Swami Vivekananda.
sisters and brothers of America. It fills my heart with joy unspeakable to rise in response to the warm and cordial welcome which you have given us. I thank you in the name of the most ancient order of monks in the world. I thank you in the name of the mother of religions. And I thank you in the name of the millions and millions of Hindu people of all classes and sects. My thanks also to some of the speakers on this platform who, referring to the delegates from the Orient, have told you that these men from far-off nations may well claim the honor of bearing to different lands the idea of toleration.
Following this event, Vivekananda established the first Vedanta Society in America, in New York. This organization was created in order to emphasize Hindu spirituality as dictated in the Vedas, and spread the religion's principles beyond India. Swami Vivekananda ultimately returned to India a few years later and founded the Ramakrishna Mission in honor of his teacher, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. The purpose of this mission was to serve the people of India and provide humanitarian and social support to those individuals in need, such as individuals living in poverty and those without education. Over the years, this mission has built schools and colleges and helped many people. A few years later, in 1902, Swami Vivekananda passed away. His legacy is impressive and extensive. He spread the Indian culture and Hindu religion to a greater extent than many before him, and also provided good service to individuals all across the Indian nation. Lastly, Swami Vivekananda helped bring unity to the diverse population in India, showing him that there is only one God, and he lies in everyone.